probably about like that, and then store them in the tent. Have plenty of fire starter heat. I think that's going to be, because if you have it on the ground, all the heat's going to go in this chair. It's 9,000, 12,000, and 15,000 BTU. Welcome to Time by the Tent. Extended weekend here up at the land, Friday afternoon. It's a warm one again. We're sitting at 71 with about a 10 to 20 mile an hour wind. Overcast, not supposed to rain, just cloudy. I'm going to get in the stand. I'll have about an hour and a half. I'm just going to go right here across the trail, about 180 yards, where we have a tree stand set up in there, and just sit there and see what happens. Very minimal activity on trail cameras. Had some over on Holly's blind, but she's not up here and hunting this weekend. She'll be up next weekend. So I'm wanting to stay out of that area. But yeah, 71. Last weekend, really good deer hunting weather. The weekend before that, the video before that, 2 videos ago, it was record-breaking heat. We're not record-breaking heat, but it is very, very warm. So I will see you in the tree stand. Getting supper going here. Did not see anything. 71 degrees in the tree stand. So, and it's 68 right now, which normally 68 is like, well, average temperature this time of year. Over halfway through October, you're looking at lows in the mid 30s, highs in the low to mid 50s. And we're 68 right now. So what are you gonna do? You gotta hunt. And I know farther south, like in southern Illinois, it was almost 85 degrees today. So it doesn't make for pleasant deer hunting in the aspect of seeing deer, in my thoughts. Obviously we see videos of people hunting deer when it's 90 degrees and they're feeding all that. But anyway. So I'll figure out where I'm going to go in the morning. I haven't done that yet. I'm making French fries. I had these potatoes left over last week when Holly was up here. I had them, put some extra ones in a grocery bag and threw in my carry tote that I bring up every week. So I figured instead of having canned beets or carrots or cranberry sauce or sliced potatoes in a can, because that'll keep for a long time, these potatoes, I can go ahead and make potatoes. And I've also got 2 venison burgers that I am going to throw on the fire once these potatoes, French fries, get done, because those are going to cook pretty quick. Got the Jackery out with the floor lamp. It just makes it so much nicer to see without having to deal with a flashlight, and it's pleasant. Usually if it's like 32 degrees, I'm going to try to figure out how to cook inside. But I'll take advantage of this, and I've got some ketchup in the car. And then we'll eat inside, but I'll cook both venison burgers and I can warm it up tomorrow in the microwave for a quick lunch. But just really, really windy. And I don't know if the wind's supposed to die down or not. I'll have to check. Because if the wind dies down in the morning, it may be fairly decent. I'm probably going to go over to where the stand is on the other side of the property where I've been seeing deer in the stand that I have never harvested one off of, but I replaced a couple of weeks ago because of the bad seat. 2 venison burgers, and then the potatoes, which didn't fry it very good because they're red potatoes. Russets fry it much, much better. So it's kind of fried. It'll be fine with ketchup. So that is it for tonight. Probably will see you in the tree stand in the morning. Spent 3 hours 45 minutes in the stand, 3 hours and 15 minutes during legal hunting time. Didn't see anything. The wind has begun to pick up a little bit. 5 to 15 is what they're calling for, and it was a long time, for probably 2 hours, that there was absolutely no wind at all. So I would call occasionally. Wasn't any squirrel activity and very minimal bird activity during that silent time as well. So get back to camp, got a few small projects to do, and then decide which stand to go out this afternoon. 66 today, I think, 6 degrees cooler than yesterday, so it's going to be a warm afternoon. So it was one of the prettiest mornings that you could have sat in a tree stand. 51, and now probably we're at 55-ish, if not warmer. But just a beautiful morning, but no activity. And as it gets warmer, I'm going to guess there's going to be minimal activity movement until right at dark, so I won't sit in the stand for hours this afternoon, but I'll slide in probably about 2 hours. Alright, last week I built this 2-story wood box. This is what the wood box we already had, a crate that we lined with cardboard that we put the big logs in. What I wanted to do was have an upper level for split logs, which will catch fire much quicker, and then small tinder. In addition to, in this tub here is dry paper, and this tub here is like 2x4 pieces split, super dry. This way, when it's really, really cold and I come off the stand, I can turn the little propane heater on and take the chill out of my hands while I get the fire going, and I can throw a handful of twigs and split logs with the paper and the kindling. I've got to get some birch bark, a bucket of birch bark. This tub here, this trash can here, is filled with splits or those chunks as well. So I have easy access. And then I was looking for something in the attic earlier this week and found this basket. I don't know where I got it, but it was in the attic. So I filled it with very dry tinder. This way I can take birch bark, some paper, whatever the case is, and then just throw it all in there, get a good base going, and then throw a split log in there, get that going, and then throw one of the big logs that are not split in there, so I can have plenty of access to the availability of tinder and getting a fire going, because it's easier to stockpile it now than it is when it's 10 degrees outside or 6 inches of snow. So that project's done. I got to take this bucket. I've got some down old birch bark trees that I'm going to fill this with and bring in there, and then I'll get a bag or something, and this is where I store water at for putting out the campfire when we leave. So back here is a birch bark. Almost stepped on a snake here. Oh, there's another one there. Holy cow, I almost stepped on that one. Them snakes are not going to hurt anything. Just don't want to step on them. Those snakes aren't going to hurt anything, just don't want to step on them. It's very warm, they're trying to get a little more sunlight. Here's the birch tree that had fallen years ago. A lot of birch bark. So I'll get a bucket full of birch bark. And that'll be an additional level of fire starting. Got a good amount. Now, as you may know, birch bark will light even when it's wet. But I've got the advantage of the sun here. And we do have a level of dampness on these. So I'm going to take advantage and just let these dry out, and then I'll pull them apart in little chunks, probably about like that, and then store them in the tent. Have plenty of fire starter. This way I don't have to buy lighter fluid. I've got about a quarter of a bottle left, or fire starting devices like little cotton wads or whatever you want to call them. This will do just fine. Found a reusable bag in the storage shed. Sometimes I don't know what I find in there. A lot of stuff piled up in bins, so that'll work out well. I'll hang that on the back of the 2-story wood box. These other pieces here, the birch bark, I will go ahead and put them in the shed. So when I do run out, I know where they're at. And that project is completed. 4 o'clock, 69 degrees, feels like 66. Winds are what they are. So we're gonna head out to the very far back stand. I don't know if that's gonna be a good move or a bad move, but we gotta do something. And then in the morning, based on how much rain's coming, I will go to one of these closer stands. We got a front moving through tonight that's going to bring some rain. So maybe these deer will move a little bit before, I don't know. So, trying to figure out which is the best way to go. As going this way, I've got 2 ways to get that stand. So I will see you when I'm at the stand. Well, not a thing was seen. It's completely calm for about the last 45 minutes of the hunt. The wind died down. So I brought the cooking light out. Gonna have 3 of these cheddar smoked sausages, and probably a can of carrots. Yeah. So that's where we're at. 42 for the low tonight, 65 58 right now. So, and our front's supposed to push through and be some rain possibility tonight. So let me get this going. Won't need a big fire, just enough to warm these up. I'm watching a little Survivor Man. Gonna put in Monster Bucks 11, Volume 1. 42 for low. I did get the fire up and going. Worked out the way I wanted it with what we talked about, what I showed you earlier in the day, with birch bark, paper, kindling, tiny twigs, split wood. Bring some more wood in tomorrow. And I don't know where I'm going in the morning. As this front comes through, I don't know what the right move is. So I will see you in the morning. heading back. Last night, well, it was 51 when I got in the stand this morning. 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, gust up to 25. So you just got beat around in the tree stand. Had to go out because that's what I'm up here for. I'm not going to stay in bed because it's a little windy. Know that this can, different theories are this will hold the deer up, deer will move, whatever. So had a 8-point buck, a year and a half 8-point buck near that stand in front of the camera last night at midnight. We had rain come through, a couple of light showers, I mean just enough to wet the ground. Back where I'm home, they got severe thunderstorms. So that's the way it goes. 0 deer seen. Get back, regroup. Gotta do a few more things and that'll be it for the weekend. Overcast and just really damp. There's a chill in the air. I think yesterday was the last of the year of warm hunts. As I look at the next 7 days, temperatures are in the 50s and lows in the 30s and in the upper 20s. So I think the days of 60 plus degrees and unseasonably warm has come to an end. Temperature is 50 degrees. I'm going to take this propane tank out to Holly's blind, pick up the pillow that's out there that she doesn't want because that's no longer a usable pillow. We'll have to burn that. And then go in the woods over here and pull the trail camera that we're not using on the cellular network and bring it back, because there's no sense it sitting out there just for no purpose. The sun's trying to break through this dark overcast low cover. Got some cloud, it's breaking up back over the behind the tent. So that is what I am working on now. Try to get these projects done. Took about a 45-minute break. Got a little warmed up, didn't start the fire, just got in the sleeping bag. It's kind of relaxed for a minute, and now it's time to go again here. Inside Holly's blind, we always leave the door or the window down. Of course, there's a lot of cold air coming in, but it keeps the deer not so spooked. So could have it here. I think the better option is I've got a bucket at the house that's got no handles that I can bring out, flip it upside down, and the heater attaches here, and it's going to be one of these here, so it's going to sit about right here, so you get that heat. I think that's going to be, because if you have it on the ground, all the heat's going to go in this chair. It's 9,000, 12,000, and 15,000 BTUs. So I don't want it to be something where it can melt or burn the chair. So I think that's the better option. That way the table's still available. Reach over here, turn this on, ignite it, get some warmth in here, and then turn it off. So we'll go with that. I'm gonna go up and cut a wagon full of wood. Just kind of trash, partially rotted pine spruce trees that I can dump over here for the campfire wood. There's Holly's little secret garden area. Just a little place on top of where the wetland can be seen when there's water in it. This is the trail that cuts across, or goes down, and then you can cut across the other side of the property. I had this cut out a long time ago last year. Just really trashy, punky wood that is really good for campfire burn quick, burn hot, and I don't have to use the good wood stove logs for it. So let's get this back to camp and unload it. Well, that will do it. Another weekend here up at the land. Warm and then cold and then windy and chilly. So if you've made it this far, let's put windy in the comments below, because it is just a 20+ mile an hour wind here, and the deer just do not want to move when it's this windy. It's a safety concern for them. They'll bed down, and once this clears, they'll be up and moving around this week. So thank you so much for being part of the program. Thanks for watching and making this far, and until next time, we'll see you then.